first and foremost, I must say that intro video, the music slaps, because I didn't know it was that soulful, and I'm sitting there like, oh wow, that is it. But ladies and gentlemen, you're welcome to Paul's Paradox Podcast. I am your host, Paul Briggs. Today, I am joined by several distinguished friends of mine. I don't know how it may show on your screens at home, but I will go clockwise. To my right, I have Mr. Markus Seaberry of Memphis, Tennessee. He is a 1999 graduate of the University of
No,
Memphis.
1998, sir.
1998. Okay, 98. Okay, not 98. Okay, that was a good year. 1998, graduated in the University of Memphis. God, my Lord, this was, I got this one. Okay, and then we have his lovely wife. We have Miss Lyncola Odell Seaberry. She was a graduate of 2005.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, 2005. I also have Mr. Rakeem Morris from Richmond, Virginia, but now as of Baltimore. He is a 2019 graduate of Old Dominion University, and then you have myself, and I am here. I went to the School of Hard Knocks, the School of Life, and I am from parts unknown. But no, I was born and raised in Louisiana. Yeah, went to high school, Valdosta High School, Georgia Southern, and a bunch of other places. So, but anyway,
That man said, parts unknown. You like that old wrestler. You the missing link, ain't
yes, yes,
you?
yes.
From parts unknown,
From
the
parts
missing
unknown.
link.
Oh wow.
Yes, yes. That's all of them. All the greats was from parts unknown. Yes, but we are here to talk about the Forever Show. I know that was season one. Thankfully, we heard that there will be a season two. Um, I am definitely excited about it. I don't know about you guys. First and
Oh
foremost, what I
yeah,
would look.
man. Cause like I'm invested now, man. They gave me 8 episodes of their life, and I want to see the conclusion, man. Like, see, that's what good writing and good performances get you. You get invested and you want to see more.
Oh yes,
Mhm.
yeah. So definitely. So I want to go ahead and let's get, I'll say, a 2 minute thought process of what you guys thought about the show. Well, I guess Marcus, you kind of already kind of gave yours as far as what you thought it was going to be going in, and then what did it live up to your expectations?
Oh well, no, man, I ain't really had no expectations because, like, yo, peace to Judy Blume. I've read several Judy Blume books. I had not read this book. You know, this is a little kind of into the lovey-dovey phase. Your boy wasn't doing lovey-dovey in like, you know, elementary. You know, what I'm saying middle school. I was reading Choose Your Own Adventure by that point. You know what I'm saying? Choose Your Own Adventure, or if
Yeah.
it had some Marvel characters in it, I was like, yes, well, the comic books. But like I said, I ain't really had no thought. But well, I'm gonna tell you the one thought. They said the name Mara Brock Akil. Mara Brock Akil is the creator of Girlfriends and the Game, and she had this short-lived show on that Lyncola and I loved called Love Is.
Yeah, I remember that
But
show.
but they took it off because her husband, who also creates stuff with her, kind of got caught up in a little Me Too moment. I don't
Ah.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, Lincola. You,
This is Levy and
oh,
huh?
oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I broke up on my end, Marcus. So.
Uh, uh, I was saying, Mara Brock Akil created Girlfriends, created the game. She also had a show called Love Is that I really really dug. Ironically, with the guy that played the girl's father in this, Will Catlett,
Okay.
he was the male lead in Love Is, but that show kind of got ended after one season because her husband, Salim Akil, who also works in TV, had some accusations levied against him. It was a bit of a Me Too thing. So I heard Mara Brock Akil I saw brown skinned peoples, and then I came to Lyncola like I want to watch that. That's my wife. She was like, I already watched. I'm like, bruh. She like, I'll watch it again. I was like, cool.
You be
And I
watching so
mean,
many different stuff, wrestling, superhero stuff. I have to watch something. Sorry.
that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And Lyncola, your
But
thoughts?
oh, yeah.
Hmm.
I said your initial thoughts on the show.
Well, me being a hopeless romantic, and I love coming of age films and TV shows. Like, I'm in the process of waiting on one of my favorite coming of age shows, The Summer I Turned Pretty. So what I thought of the show, I really loved the acting. I thought the acting was brilliant. The girl that played the lead, Keisha Lovey Simone, I've been a fan of her since she was on Greenleaf. I think she is going to be a phenomenal actress. Shout out to Wood Harris. Wood Harris was amazing in this movie. I mean, he was just, you know, good father figure and everything. But yeah, I mean, this was a great show. And like, this is like my third time seeing it because me and Marcus, we watched it last night. Again, I can't wait till this second season comes. I want to know what's gonna happen in the second season. But yeah, kind of makes me want to read the book. Probably will read the book during my fall break from work. So yeah, it was a good series. I agree.
Uh, Also, real quick, shout out to Barry Shabaka Henley as Keisha's grandfather. I've
Okay.
been watching that man and stuff since I was like in seventh grade. I'm just sometimes you just be glad to see people still getting work. You be like, okay, he's still working.
Mm-hmm. Rock, your thoughts.
I definitely enjoy. I'm not really a romantic, type of person as far as like watching
Oh.
TV shows. Nah, but this one definitely changed my perspective. The
Mhm.
storytelling, like everybody else said, was great. Um, you know, like I said, I think the dad is the fan favorite amongst, because I watched other people reviews as well, and everybody loves the dad, including me. I love the character development of all the characters. I think one of the characters, which I guess we could explain, later down the line, is definitely one. I felt like one person did put more effort in the relationship than the other, in my opinion. But the thing is, I saw a lot of maturity in both characters, the character arcs and stuff like that. So I'm a huge fan of, you know, how the story was written, and like you said, I'm looking forward to season two. Especially the way they did the chronological years. If they really,
Yes,
so
yes. Hmm.
I thought that was a great touch, and um, but it's dope. Yeah, I feel like if I keep talking, I'm gonna get to more details, so I'm gonna stop there. And yeah, I know we go get into the character analysis and stuff like that, and I'm using my what you call it, my English my what is it, my high school what do you call it, rhetorical analysis. Let's say,
Yeah, that's it. Rhetorical analysis. Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah, as my teacher would say, you gotta feed the beast. What was the beast of the story and all that? Like that was his analogy.
And one
Yeah,
thing I like about the TV series, I was recently watching an interview that Lovey had did with Gail King on the morning show when she read the book, and she was like, I gotta be a part of this project. And I love the part that what's the creator name? She got permission from Judy Bloom if she can do the like early or the late 2000. And that's one thing
Organically.
yeah, That's one thing I liked about it. It was in the 2000s. You saw the different types of fashion that we wore, our hair and everything. So I love, shout out to the culture. I love the culture part of the series because it, it brought back memories of certain, trends that was going on during that part of the 2000s. So yeah.
Yeah, but also what tripped me out though is the '90s fashion they were wearing.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like Justin was wearing a Dr. Dre T-shirt,
Mhm.
and Keisha was wearing like a TLC T-shirt, and I was like, oh, I
Yeah.
guess yeah, I guess the '90s is vintage now.
Yeah.
You know
So
what I'm
I guess
saying? That made my knee hurt to say that out loud, but you know.
so. So question: I guess back in the day, like let's say in the 2000s, was it a lot of vintage going on where people started wearing a lot of vintage stuff back then? In
Oh
the two,
yeah. Oh
I mean,
yeah.
I'm
You
I was born '96, so I mean, I kind of
oh.
witnessed that as well. But
Mhm.
uh,
but
so
I didn't
what?
really pay attention to it. Like,
That takes place from like 2016, 2017 to
Yeah.
2019.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
the
Yes.
youngers were starting to wear '90s stuff because like man,
Mhm.
I be dealing with that now, man. I be having straight elementary kids. Like one day, this girl dressed like Left Eye, and she was doing the moves from like the "What About Your Friends" video. I was like, I'm shocked that you know this, but it does my heart good.
Hey,
And,
who
and then
raised
you
you?
I
and
know for
then
real. Like I'm for real. I think I get with the TK Kirkland. Who raised you?
then you see the old school Jordans. I mean, it was one scene with Keisha had on all the sky blue, and you saw the sky blue Jordans back in the day, and I'm like, I just recently have gotten into Jordans. Shout out to a coworker of mine. But yeah, I love, fashion has always been, our identity in the African American community. So yeah, I love the fashion
Oh
in
yeah.
this movies.
As someone during that time period where I was, because of work and freelance work, I was in a lot of Hot Topics and Spencer Gifts and
Yeah.
things of that nature. I know, like, as far as that was what the young people was wearing, I was like, oh, okay, they weren't even born then, or they. But the fact that I said somebody raised you,
Dude,
and it's like whoever
dude,
raised you, they okay, we in good
dude. Man, I let the kids pick some videos one day on YouTube. We was just chilling. Why this little boy start playing Let Me Love You by Mario and like singing it like the rent was due?
Baltimore.
I was like, how do you even know this, sir? You weren't
You know
even
how
an
them people be
embryo.
making these songs these days. They got
He
saying
said he wasn't even the emperor.
You weren't even embryonic, sir. But you know what? It be them TikTok trends, man. TikTok will
yeah.
resurrect these old songs,
Hmm.
and I
I
be
think the
trying to
first
tell the kids like I remember one. What was it? It was this rock song, "Maps" by the Yeah Yeah Yeahs. I'm like, yes, dude, I know the song. I used to hear people sing it at karaoke. I'm like, that song's like almost 20 years old, sir.
Oh wow.
yeah, and some of these, like you said, some of these shows like Stranger Things, I never heard of. Up the Hill. What's that song with Carol? Up the Hill.
Oh yeah, K Hill.
Yeah, the song "The Hill," something going up the hill
Yeah,
or something.
yeah. Like
Like that was,
that was like a '90s alt banger.
yeah. So like it's some of these shows. I feel like these producers low key have an agenda. It's like, you know what, this song did not get this much love that I love, so I'm gonna put this in and see if it's gonna get some attention. So
I agree.
I would do something like that. Actually, like screw that. I'm
Oh
putting song.
yeah, definitely. But like, everybody get mad at me because like, you know what I'm saying? I can see my producer
Oh, he froze again.
and
Yeah,
three more 112 songs. I
oh,
need
So
that's 112, Lord. Yes.
them.
Yeah. Yes,
Hey
112.
man, You know I love my matching coat R&B.
Yeah.
Oh Jesus.
Because I'm getting tired of all these little tattooed folks. Put a coat on. Learn some dance moves. Ooh, I'm an R&B thug. Quit it.
They don't know choreography.
Oh,
Choreography is just word in the spelling bee.
You know what I'm saying, man? Put on a matching. I'm like, oh, y'all don't put on some matching coats and learn some dance moves. Yeah.
Even
Jesus.
B2K, at least they would be still in the same black white facade. They would just, a
Mm.
Destiny's Child. They got the same color on the outfits might look slightly different variations of each
Yeah,
other. Even
but
that,
I'm rambling. I'm sorry.
yeah. But I know we're getting off subject. But one of the things I would like to bring up is that I love that really got me was first of all, my expectations of coming in. I was intrigued because I am a fan of Virginia King of her work. The two Reginas, Virginia King and Regina Hall. But I was a fan of Regina King and her work, and
Oh yeah, she directed the first episode.
yeah,
Yeah.
mhm.
and so she's one of the producers, on it. She got the permission from Judy Bloom to do the adaptation, the film adaptation of the series, and I was like, okay, Judy Bloom again. I was like Marcus, Super Fudge, Tales of a Fourth Grade, Nothing. That was kind of in the realm. I had not read forever. I didn't even know it exists. Um, and it was one of those things. I said, okay, Mara Brock Akil is in it, as far as producing it, and with Regina King, it's got to be solid. And I really ended up watching it because of Rocky, Rock down there. I was visiting him, and he was like, "Man, you got to watch this forever, forever." I'm like, "Okay." And I've heard people say about it. And I was kind of intrigued just because it's Regina King. I wanted to support, and then I was hooked after that first episode, and we went on, and it was off to the races. I think it was in 2 days, maybe. Really, I think it was almost inside 24 hours. Rock. I think we watched
Yeah,
like the whole 8 episode series, and it really was good. And so I was really surprised. It made me a super fan and everything. I'm like literally overnight. So
I'm 2 for 2 for putting on uh what you call it, Paul on a show.
2 for 3.
2 for 3.
Yes, because the one we just finished, I'm not a fan. I
He's
I
not a fan
would
of
not I would not want to see season. We'll talk about that offline because that's
Yeah.
because um but now my thing is my next question is who was your favorite character? I'll go the reverse. So this time I'll start with Rob. Who was your favorite character from season one?
I mean, it's the dad. Come on now. Like the dad was awesome in my opinion. And and basically I just felt like he knew the right moments to, you know, basically especially from a young perspective,
Mm-hmm.
you know, he knew, okay, if you want, it was a certain line that he said towards his wife. You want him to do man things. Now, this is one of the times he had to do it. And, I felt that in a way like, okay, the dad, I don't know. I'm not used to seeing characters, especially from, you know, that temperament, especially on TV shows like that anymore. Like back in the day, you might have lessons and stuff like that, like from a Family Matters or
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, Fresh Prince with Uncle Phil and stuff. They might have moments where they try to give you guidance, but now these days you don't see the black father,
Mm-mm.
give guidance to a son, especially on top of that, you know, the son has 88. What he has like ADHD or something like that.
ADHD, yeah.
Yeah, and the way he kind of communicates with him and guides him, it was really touching. And I think that was, he knew the best times to intervene and like let the wife, and granted, the wife, I like the wife's character, but there were times I'm like, if you didn't do this, this would have been avoided.
Yeah, sometimes she did too much.
She did
Yes.
too much. And which I understand, you have a show, there has to be some type of conflict and there's some type, but I understand that. But there was a times when the mom tried to intervene. The dad was like, "No, let him do it this way. He's been raised well. You need to trust us. You need to trust that we raised him well to do the right thing." And it was a time where the son was like, "Well," and especially, are we doing spoilers in this one?
Well, I mean, episode one has been done. They haven't
I mean,
seen
the
it by
whole
now.
series. If you haven't seen this Forever show now, I'm sorry, I'm gonna spoil some things. So there was a scene where when the mom was talking about, did this girl had a sex tape, and
Hmm.
of course the son was like, well, you told me to not judge people or whatever, and that's what you're doing. And
Yeah.
the dad was like, your mom put us up to this, right? You put me up to this, like the way he turned on the. I
Sold
thought
her
that
out.
was funny because again,
Hmm.
he wouldn't have said that if you know the dad. Again, the dad. I think the dad was just awesome.
Yes. Yes.
I'm gonna let everybody else talk, but I have so many things. I'll go 45 minutes talking about him. So
Hmm.
um, he- I'll let Miss
Lyncola.
Cola go. Miss Seaberry.
Uh, my favorite character. Hmm. That's a tricky one. I don't want to say the dad. Yeah, the dad was phenomenal. I would have to say Keisha mom because okay, she's a single mom. She working two jobs. She's trying to pay for her daughter to get a good and quality education. I didn't like the fact that even though she was at the school, she had made that sex tape with that boy and she got outcast and she had to go to another school. What they should have done was kick him out because really she was the victim, not the guy. I mean, you trying to prove your manhood to somebody now you didn't mess up this girl scholarship to go to a school now her mom have to struggle. And when I was looking at the scene where she was talking about do she need to buy her track gear and stuff like that and she's adding up the bills. That's what happens in a single home family household. It's like the mom had to do so many sacrifices in order for her child to have good things in life. I did not like the scene about the prom. She should have just been honest in the beginning, told mom about the sex tape, and mom should just went and got it, took the prom dress back and really pressed charges on him, got a restraining order and stuff like that. But a single mom would do anything to make sure her child have the same things as anybody else child. So yeah, Keisha mom, she did a good job. Shout out to her. She's a good actress. I think she's pretty dope.
Marcus.
I'm gonna say the dad, man, dude. Let me put you on game to Mr. Wood Harris. That is his name.
Oh
I've
Lord.
been I've been watching Wood Harris and stuff since Above the Rim. It's
You a
like in the
tough
early
man, right?
'90s, huh?
You a tough man, right? You be all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Dude, Wood Harris been putting it down for a minute, and I feel like he's been underrated for a minute. You know what I'm saying? He's even in like Ant Man and stuff like that. Like, dude, Wood Harris is a phenomenal, dope actor. You know what I'm saying? And I just love his character because it just seemed real. Like, he wasn't to just fuss at your dad. You know what I'm
Mm-mm.
saying? He was more of a
Yeah.
hey, you did this. You should probably handle it. He was more solution based, and I ain't gonna front. I kind of, I kind of wish I had been raised that way. I was like, dang, this dad is awesome. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Cause like,
Wow.
Mhm. Yeah.
cause
Yeah.
he got on him when he needed to,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
I would say.
Yeah. Especially, I hate to cut you off, honey, but I like
now
the
you
scene.
good.
I like the scene in the movie where he knew he was going to go over to meet Keisha, and he had the cucumber and the condom, and he's showing him how to put it on. Then he dim the lights and show him how to do it in the dark. Uh, we need real men to teach boys how to do that, because if you have that nowadays in life, you wouldn't have all these unwanted pregnancy, all these STDs, and stuff like that. So you could tell in the movie, Justin was raised right. Justin
Mhm.
um knew what to expect, what not to expect, and yeah, shout out to the dad, because the dad was just phenomenal, just a phenomenal father, and we need more black men like that in our society today.
Yeah. I like the dad too. Dad was my favorite character. I would say the thing that I love more so was his character arc. The deeper the season got, because even on surface level, even on just watching the first 4 episodes, I was like, okay, this is the perfect dad. This is the 2025 version of the TV dad that we all know and love. Whether it was
Yes,
Uncle Phil, whether it was you know Carl
Carl.
Winslow, Bill Cosby, whether it was Uncle, I mean, all of them. You just name them. Yeah, it just this is who I thought it should have been. Hey, even a little bit of James from James from Good Times. It was there, and it was just character art. Because the only pressure I really felt from Justin's point of view that he got from his dad was that point in the episode. I think it was either the last episode or the next to last episode when they had the Christmas scene, and he was telling how you're the first men in the family, to go to college and all that.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so now, even though he wasn't stressing about going to Northwestern so much as Mama was, he was just happy that you just going somewhere and carrying on that family name. And as a man, I understand, and especially being one that's named after my father, I can understand sometimes that name and that weight. There's a weight that comes with it, and then you want to do good and honor the name and the legacy and all of that. Like Proverbs 22:1, good name is worth more than riches. So, just which is that's another thing that throughout the series. Um, so I want to go to the next question. I'll start with Marcus. What was your favorite either episode or your favorite moment in the series?
Man,
I was sit
that's tough, man, because
up.
it was just a lot of good. Yo, nah, I know. When my man Justin was at that game,
I was gonna
Yes.
and
say.
Keisha's old
Yes.
dude was getting off and getting busy, and Justin wasn't gonna see the flow. Justin put himself in the game,
Yeah, I was gonna
and
say that.
Justin got loose. Now I
Yes.
don't recommend doing it because normally that'll get you kicked off the team. But man, Justin got busy. Justin found a focus like he had never had before.
It was like he was on a high.
He was in the zone, as we would say in the sports
Yes.
vernacular.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
yeah, yeah. Nah, you good. Justin
He
got in the
checked into
zone,
his
man.
mama
That was
mentality. He checked into his mama mentality, as they would say.
Yeah.
man for real, dude. That was amazing.
Yeah. Yes. Mhm.
It was reminiscent to me of Reggie Miller scoring the 25 points in the fourth quarter against the Knicks. And every time he looking at Spike Lee, every time he hit a shot, like the focus of his eye, and today his focus of his eye was on the court. Okay.
Mhm.
Lyncola, your moment.
My moment. Um, I would have to say, in the first beginning of the season of episode 1, Justin goes to the party. He he sees her. He hasn't seen her in a long time,
Mm,
and it's like, okay, it's love at first sight. This could be something. That first scene kind of remind me of when I met Mr. Seaberry over there.
mhm.
Uh,
Ah,
getting it, it's like that new love, that new love. You getting to know somebody,
yeah.
you learning their flaws, their likes and their dislikes, I do like that first episode, which they go to the party, they hook up, and they rekindle that spark. Hmm.
Um, Rock.
Man, yeah, I took the one. I took the two best because those were.
Sorry.
But nah, y'all, it's all good. There were moments. I like the moment. I would say my favorite episode will probably be. It will probably be the first episode as far as just the overall story. But I do like the moments. I'm sorry, excuse me. The part where I like Justin's arc when he was at the vineyard.
Yes.
Vineyard, is it vineyard or vineyard?
Vineyard.
The vineyard.
Yeah. Um, I like that. I like that episode because that was the first time I see Keisha fighting for the relationship. Because I
Yeah.
thought 1 minute, I just felt like it was just so one sided.
Yes. Yes.
And for the first time, I'm like, yes, finally. I'm like, because at the moment, it was starting to get to the point. I'm starting to get annoyed with Justin.
Yes.
Yo,
Yes.
my dude, move on. Like at this
Yes.
point, but the fact that I saw that she was willing to travel across the country,
Yes.
you know, try to make it work, I'm like, okay.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, but because Justin had an option. He
Yeah.
did have an option to, go with that the
Oh
friend.
yeah, Shannon.
Standing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Shannon.
Yeah. And I think she's gonna be very important in season 2 if she do show back up. But
Yeah.
that's another we get there when we get there. But yeah, I would say I think in between the first episode and the episode when they went across country, those two were, and obviously the basketball moment was, my boy went off on that. But yeah, that's
Went
me.
off on that coach. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and the imitate rock. Yeah, you took the one I was going to use. I was going to use the vineyard. Yes, for all. Yes, just because I love the fact that it was a physical different location. Everything. It wasn't in Cali, basis. Because sometimes getting out of your area, and the fact that was the first time they became intimate. Because remember, even
Yes.
up until that point, they had been trying to either something was always in the way, and it never seemed to be the right perfect time. And then let's be honest, Martha's Vineyard is not a bad place to do. If that's what you're gonna lose your virginity, that's not a bad place to go. I'm just
No.
saying. Um, but not a bad place to go. So I I was trying to think of something else that nobody else in the group said. I probably got to go back to the one that probably touched me the most, which was the scene when he felt like he needed to be with his woman and would, from a man to a man, Eric, the father character, recognized that and was like, "Look, you need to go and be with her." He recognized the moment, like, if y'all gonna be a couple, if you're gonna be to the point where your mom was like, I'm just glad that you're gonna marry. She said the next best thing that she wanted, her prayer was after you get the college education going to Northwestern, was that you marry a black woman. Then fine. He's like, the next time you're gonna skip school, or the cut from school to go see a girl, make sure you lead with that.
Yeah, yeah, for real.
it, it was
Yeah.
always like Dad's like, look, if you're gonna sin, sin right, if you're gonna
I
get me in
mean,
trouble, make sure it's worth it. You might want to lead with that. So the fact that so now here it is come to the moment where Keisha really needs somebody that could use that masculine presence, and he recognized that, yes, Mama was talking about the cops, and it is Los Angeles and all of this stuff, and of course you talking about post George Floyd. Well, nope, we hadn't even gotten to George Floyd yet. We hadn't
No.
even, and that's the thing. So it's kind of like one of those things that, even with the scene with him coming back, and you had the cop that was, and the cop just ended up passing by him, just because I think we've all been there where you see
Yes.
the light
yeah.
of someone like, I know I didn't do nothing, I did only the cop to pass you or to make a turn or something like, whew,
I think cops do that on purpose. I think.
Yes, they do. Or you in the suburbs and a cop just following you, ain't putting no lights on.
Mhm.
But see me, I drive like 20. I get on their nerves.
Mm.
They get
Yeah.
frustrated. Oh
Wait,
no,
can
oh
they
no, you
arrest
gonna
you?
pass me,
Wait,
sir?
can they give you a ticket for going too slow though?
On the interstates.
On the
Yeah,
interstate,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. No, I'm talking about. I be on the street.
Yeah.
I be like, nah, bro. I'm finna go like 20 to 30. You finna get tired and pass me. Going on. Be on your way.
And that's the one. Okay. Next question I wanted to ask, and I'll start with Rock. Who is the person you're most interested of just the characters? Because we don't know who's all the new characters we'll get in season two. But from the characters in season one, who's the person you're most interested to see how they
Evolve,
come
I
out
guess.
and evolve in season two?
Um,
Whether they're one of the main characters or there was a side character.
uh, actually, I got a couple. Actually,
But don't
I'm,
don't eat it. Don't eat
I'm not going
all
to
the
too much.
food for everybody.
Yeah,
But
no, 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 no. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. But as far as side characters, I would say the basketball player because I think he will come back. I think somehow he could come
Christian.
back in Keisha's life. Um,
okay,
and also my only one after that will probably be. I'm curious how Justin's going to continue his career
Yes.
because it seems like he knows what he wants, but I still think he doesn't have it really all the way figured out yet. Which who does actually, but
Exactly.
it's one of those things that I feel like he has so much going on with him. With he thinks he found his love with music, but at the same time, I think he's struggling with. I still don't think he's really over Keisha. I mean, obviously, I don't think he will ever be over Keisha. Um, but yeah, those are two characters I definitely want to, especially that dynamic between Keisha, the basketball player, and him. I think they're going to somehow. There's a reason why I say this. If they go on by the years, because there's so many. If we start talking about season two, that'll explain more why I say those three.
okay,
But I'm gonna say those two. Justin and the basketball player.
okay. Lyncola.
Let's see. I would say Keisha. I want to see how she's gonna uh be when she goes to Howard. I recently was reading this article and they was saying that it would be really cool if the guy that played Ghost Son, because me and Marcus was talking about this before the podcast, the guy that played Ghost Son in Power would be her new love interest. I think
Oh snap!
that would be
Now
super
y'all
dope.
getting into
But
which was the
I want to see how she evolves as a Howard woman, how she's gonna balance schoolwork, track, social life, and so forth. So yeah, and if she gonna have a new love interest, or will her and Justin get back together? Just it's a lot of possibilities.
now Lyncola is getting into what would be the following questions. What would you like to see if you was a producer or in the room? What would you like to pitch for
Oh,
something to happen in season two? That's
I
getting
would
into
not.
that question. That's
my
that's
bad.
the next question. But no, that's what makes it a conversation.
No,
Marcus,
because
oh, go ahead, Nicola. No, go ahead.
but her character has been through so much. She did a sex tape. She was the valedictorian of her class. Females hated her because it was one scene
Mm,
in it where her and some girl got the fighting and she ended up doing community service. I just want to see how she's gonna evolve in the next season and everything. Is she gonna play as a sorority? This is possibilities. Go ahead, husband.
All right. I want to see more of Keisha's dad. And again, look, full disclosure, I'm an actor. I've been acting in micro budget, low budget, no budget films for like 21 years. And it's just some dudes I mess with. And the actor playing Keisha's daddy is a man named Will Catlett. I started seeing this man on web series. Like stuff
CW.
like y'all ever heard of the movie A Good Day to Be Black and Sexy? Them folks made a YouTube channel called Black and Sexy TV, and they would have these little web series. And Will Kelly was on one called That Guy. Then I saw him on another woman's web series called First. Like I said again, he was on Love Is. He was a villain on Black Lightning.
Mm-hmm.
That's one of them
That's
guys
how
I mess with. Huh?
well, I'm sorry not to cut you off. That's how I knew him by Black Lightning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Will Catlett, one of them guys I be rooting for, man. That's one of them guys I mess with. I, I like the way he played Keith's dad because, that's real life. Everybody you have a child with, you might not end up with, right?
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
can see the love and concern for Keisha, and also I ain't gonna front. He was a jerk to Justin, but also Justin needed to be challenged.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So like I said,
I can tell you
based on
one
how
thing.
his character was in the admiration that I have for Will Catlett as a thespian, I wanna see what happens with him.
What were you gonna say, Rob?
Nah, it'll be an interesting dynamic to see Justin's dad versus Keisha's dad. If that
Oh,
Oh, yes.
would happen in front of them two, Keisha,
Yes.
that would have been an interesting. Yo, I would pay money to see that. But yeah. If Justin dad was there when that happened, when he challenged them, I know.
Wood would have shut it down. Wood would have eventually shut it
So you
down.
say furniture would have got moved, as they say
Furniture
now?
would have definitely got moved.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the
Like,
furniture.
you ain't gonna talk to my son any type of way now, especially if
Or
he
talk
do.
about it.
Yeah, but you know what? I don't know. I don't know because I think it would have been the thing of because I would have thought Eric would have, or Will's character would have at least prepped his son. Okay, at some point you're gonna have to deal with her daddy because it wasn't like her daddy was dead; he just wasn't there. And
Right.
if you do, this is how you come correct. He's going to challenge you because he want to make sure you're gonna be any man gonna be worth the daughter. Like, hey, I don't want her to marry no
yeah,
punk. Just like
Yeah.
you
exactly.
see what I'm saying.
That's how I
So
feel
you
like
got to
Eric
be
would have
ready.
took
And
it.
then I think he would have coached him on it and be like, all right, son, hey, he would have gave him a nine. All right, this is your moment, and you gotta stay in the limit. Now, but that being said, there is a line of disrespect where we just not gonna have that. You just gonna stand
Yeah,
up for
but at
yourself.
that moment,
But in that moment, yeah. But then if I do it for you, then it's like it makes you look
yeah,
weaker. And so that's why I think what Wood would have did was still let him go through just to see his son react. And then if his son react like the way Justin did, he'll be like, all right, that's my boy. Because it's like, I'm good.
but
I
at the
raised
same
this son.
time, what if it wasn't? What if he didn't react the way he wanted his son to react? Then he would definitely chimed in. I think because again, in hindsight, we say that, but Justin's dad didn't teach him anything about doing anything like that.
Well, we didn't see it on camera. That doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Yeah.
That's true.
So so again, there's only 8 episodes. This ain't like we got everyday life of it. I would say for me, from the character standpoint, I'm gonna go off the beaten path. I'm gonna say Chloe, the friend. She was
Hmm.
kind of a stock character from start to finish. Yes, she went with her on this zany road trip to go across the country. Then to be with. First of all, I don't know no black people in Martha's Vineyard other than Spike Lee. I don't even know another black soul. So the fact that it was there with the representation was not lost for me. But having Chloe, who was ride or die, it seemed like throughout. I would like to see um, what happens to her because the default would be if Keisha is going to Howard. I mean, there are the more fair melanin people that goes to Howard, but it's not like Chloe was going with her. How
No.
what
No.
evolves in their relationship because
Yeah.
of that? I would like to see. So is Chloe just going to be just there and just sit on the sideline?
You
I
know
also would
what,
like.
man? I'm gonna say this. It feels like a role reversal.
Yes.
Like, like in a lot of predominantly white productions, someone like Keisha would be the sassy black friend.
Mm.
To be there to support him. Like, oh, girl, ooh, girl, no, he didn't. Throw around phrases like period. So,
Well, it don't even have to be like that. It could be like Stacey Dash character in Clueless on the other
well,
end of the
yeah.
spectrum.
Hey, we just watched the 30th anniversary screening of that. Shout out to Amy Heckerling and Alicia Silverstone and Stacey Dash. But conversely, I think Chloe is the ally, cool, supportive white friend. I don't really think she's designed to have a lot of depth. I mean, who knows?
Well,
Yeah.
Maybe in season two they'll flesh her out.
Well,
And
yeah,
then a thing with Chloe, she is dating Justin's friend.
yeah. I was about to say, yeah,
Yeah.
and that
I
sounds like
want to see how that relationship is gonna flourish.
yeah, that
Are
Yeah,
sounds
they
like
because
gonna be
like
like
Justin
another
is.
Keisha and Justin, or are
Because
they
let's
gonna
be
part
clear.
ways?
Let's
they
be
kind of look
clear.
like a toxic relationship though.
Yeah, Justin's friend is kind of a dog, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't.
he's kind of like a player.
Yeah, the way he was talking about how they were on and off, and you know, it didn't like you said, it didn't go too much in depth in it, but you can tell there were some signs like. I don't know if Justin's friend's a good dude for real, for real. Like,
Yeah, peace to Leon Thomas, but he's a dog, he's a mutt.
um, the other
Oh,
person, the
Marcus.
other person I would like to see would be the youngest brother. Shout out to Marvin Winans the third. Um,
Jaden.
yeah,
Jaden.
Jaden. I would like to see
Wait a minute,
something
he
with
in
him.
that family?
Yeah.
Yep, he's Marvin Winans the third.
Yeah, he's the
That's a
third
whining?
baby.
He's a
Yeah,
Winans. Yes,
Marvin Winans' son.
yep.
who's
Yeah.
Marvin
Marvin
Lawrence
Wine?
Winans the third. Yep,
Yep.
Man,
yep.
that is black gospel royalty.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So the fact that he's just there, I think that, of course, he has the whole sibling thing that you do with him and Justin. But I would like to see, because it's Chekhov's gun. He's not there just to be there. You know, I would like to see something maybe more dynamic with him in the next season, because we got to see a lot of conflict and stuff with mom and with dad. I know they kind of made mom to be the villain because somebody got to be the villain, and then like
Yeah.
you said, you got to have some kind of conflict. And usually with parent child, it's usually somebody that has a conflict. Usually you ain't got a parent, you ain't got a child with both parents is just like kumbaya with the child. Usually it's one or the other. One thing's like, hey, the child's okay, and the other one's like, ah, my God, the child's just freaking out. Yeah, so I'd like to see what the youngest son, because I felt like he got off the hook on too many things, because it's like they was coming down hard on Justin. It's like the boy is like, okay, I'm here. Do anybody care about me? It's about Justin, 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 Justin,
Here's the
Justin.
thing, man. When you're the good kid, it's gonna be a little bit of neglect. Particularly if you have an older brother who's with
Hellraiser.
the with the foolery. Like, shout out to my older brother Thaddeus, nothing illegal, but he was more of a risk taker. And my mom trying to make sure he, stay on the right path. Like, I don't feel like she really, really, really started honing in on me until he graduated and went out to the military.
And
It's
that's how
like,
I
oh,
feel like Mama would be with Jaden. Like she would, if Justin had went off to go to Northwestern, then I think, okay, well now you're the only kid in the house. I'm gonna focus in on you. But now,
Yeah.
would you say this, Marcus, just as a moment of introspection? because you saw the relationship, the inner dynamics with your mother, and your mother, your stepfather, and your brother, that it kind of like you learn by osmosis, like, yeah, you know what? Let me not do that.
Sir. Oh my God.
Oh
Okay,
Lord
first of
Jesus.
all, I already grew up in the church, and I be telling people when I read that tract about there is no water in hell, my life path was set. I was like, oh God, okay, I have to always do the right thing. So I'm already scary. Don't like being fussed at, punished. Definitely didn't like being whooped. So like, man, just you know, my brother's actions kind of just made me want to be even better. I was like, oh, he getting whooped, and he get in like 1 6 weeks he'll get his radio taken. Then the next 6 weeks he get his little radio back in the room, and my brother was like he didn't care about no whooping. He like, mama gonna whoop me so I can go outside and play. Like, yeah, man. Seeing him get in trouble made me more like, okay, I don't want none of that. I don't like being grounded. You know, dude, I was a weird kid, man. Like when my parents would whoop me, they would have to say, "Go think about it." I couldn't stop thinking about it. I was darn near having confession in my room after the fact, like, "Oh no, God, I failed. I must be better." Know what I'm saying? I was on me, like, no, I have to be a good Christian child. I was a little weirdo kid that wouldn't feel on girls because I was trying to be a good Christian child, and and then they sparked the gay rumor. It's like, hey, he's the only weirdo not trying to grab a girl's butt. He must be gay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we I think we've all been through that in some shape, form, or fashion. It's like, no,
Rocky like, no,
it's
not
called
me.
being
I was
gay.
grabbing him.
It's like this isn't a confessional
Yeah, I didn't
hour,
say
but
nothing. I'm just listening.
Now you started
but
shaking your head, so I thought you were like,
No, I'm scratching my head because I was itching back here.
I'm gonna be help
Oh my goodness.
the next point I want to bring up, and this time I'm going to start with Lyncola. I want to know if you're in the writers' room, because you've already been in there. You're in the writers' room. You got greenlit for season 2. I'll give everybody two things because there's so many different characters, so many dynamics, and knowing because of the, and I want you to take into account because of the chronological situation in which they did it, because this was the season ended. I want to say it was the summer, the end of the summer of 2019.
Yeah.
So,
Hmm.
given what's going to happen, even if next season we don't know how long they're going to stretch it, but let's say for sake of argument, it's going to be a year to 2 years. We'll say a year and a we'll say a year and a half. We'll say 18 months. I think that's safe to say 18 months. Where do you would like give me two things you would like to see the show to do?
Okay. Well, let's see. If it's in, for example, year 2020, 2021, it's gonna be during the year of COVID. So a lot of stuff is gonna be virtual, like how we were going to classes virtual. Some of us was working virtual. So I think the beginning of the seasons, Keisha gonna have to learn do her classes virtual because it's the pandemic and not too many people gonna be out. Everybody's gonna be in their room or in their facilities. That's one thing I like to see. Another thing in the new season that I would like to see, like I said, I want to see how Justin is going to manage being a producer and working and living under his parents' roof. That's one thing I do want to see because I think had he would have went to Howard with Keisha, he would have been like a little puppy dog just around her. She couldn't evolve and be like the woman that she wants to be. So in season 2, if I was in the writer's room, first thing I would say, okay, let's do it. It's 2020. we're in COVID. We're in the COVID time where we're wearing masks. We're 6 feet apart. There's no fraternity parties going on. There's really nothing. You're just basically in your dorm room. You know, doing your work. Now Keisha also has a track scholarship, so they'll probably show her competing like the NBA did and everything, where they didn't have a crowd, but they still played the game. So that's something. If I was in the writers' room, I would incorporate in it. That's just my 2 cents.
It'll
Okay.
save some money. I can tell you that.
Okay. All right, Rock, your turn.
um, I would say, yeah, I would definitely Mrs. Seaberry said, I would think they would. I think they should take the COVID approach. Um, so many elements goes involved with COVID. I mean, you got the father. I think he owns a business, right?
He's a restaurant. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
shoot chef. Yeah.
How would that affect his business?
Mm-hmm.
You got Keisha. Will she come back home because of COVID? Um,
Yeah.
you know, uh, and then on top of that, would that put Justin back in a bind when when he sees Keisha coming back home? Is he going back to his normal self? Oh, Keisha's home. I'm gonna drop everything, trying to build more of a relationship with her. Like, there's so many questions. Will the I hate to say it, Marcus, but will the grandfather might die? I mean, during COVID, you know,
Hey man, hey sir.
I hope not.
No, look,
And that
sir.
that might bring
It'll be
Keisha back.
like compared to the way he died in Collateral when Tom Cruise assassinated him. So it'll be fun.
I mean, that might bring Keisha back because find out the grandfather is sick and she thinks of him as there's so many different elements to bring her back to what in LA.
Yeah.
You know, I could just see so many different things, especially with Keisha, being back home. Because I feel like they're gonna somehow, come back together in California. And I think COVID will be the center of it. And then you got to think about, the mom dealing with what I don't even know what the mom does for a living. Did they even specify what she does for a living?
She was
She was
working in
working two jobs
USC,
after
working
the
two
sex
jobs.
scandal, after she transferred to the more expensive private school. But then she had got a better paying job, I think, at some college.
UCLA,
Yeah.
UCS.
Yeah. UC Santa Barbara, I believe.
Was it
Yeah,
USC or
Or
UC Santa Barbara?
No, it was USC.
Okay,
USC, my bad,
USC.
my bad. USC. So she got like a better paying job at USC.
yeah.
That's what she was at the end of season one.
Right. Nah, so I think it was gonna be a lot of stress, especially
Mm-hmm.
how with COVID they don't know they don't know what's gonna happen. They don't know what this disease is. So of course the father's business. I think that's gonna be more of the problematic thing as far as the father. We're gonna see a character change with the father probably in a panic mode that we're not used to
Yeah,
seeing him in season one.
cause he gonna be stressed.
Yeah. And I don't think Justin's gonna ever get used to that. So that it's that dynamic of, oh, my dad, why is my dad acting this way? He's more, humorous and the only time I seen his dad in a serious disappointed way is when Justin told him I'm not going to college. And that was like, that's the most I'm gonna get as far as a disappointment from the dad? Because I was kind of like, I wanted to see a little bit more of a. But nah, I think what's going to turn him is this COVID if they decide to go this COVID route. But but yeah, I'm ready to pass on the mic.
Yeah, Marcus.
Like the ones who came before me, when I started that like 2019. Oh, okay, so we're on the verge of COVID. Yeah, I want to see it, man. I think you got to talk about it, man. Particularly for young people.
Oh
Like,
yes.
man, like I was substitute teaching like in 2021, and man, the kids had all these questions about COVID that I could not answer as we were all wearing our masks, and, and those are young kids, but also teenagers too, man. Like it's COVID generation. A lot of
No
folks lost,
prom, no
and like a lot of
graduation.
people didn't get proms and graduations, and just time and social interaction. And Justin's already an ADHD hermit type dude, so I
Mhm.
just I like to see what that does to him. And yeah, like I assume Keith will have to come back home and take classes virtually. But also maybe because I'm a music nerd or whatever, and the fact that I know a lot of producers, they can say I have a lot of producer slash beat maker friends. I want to see Justin's evolution with the music, man.
Mhm.
I want to.
Yes.
I like to see them maybe put some rappers on, and maybe he gets a placement on some up and coming rappers album. I like to see that, man, because I've been there when people are making songs and composing beats. It's kind of a thankless process. And,
I just
I
hope he doesn't
just,
turn into an asshole.
huh?
I just hope he doesn't turn into an asshole when he gets.
Yeah.
'Cause I can see him
Yeah.
I,
doing that.
I just see him
like when you
being
start getting
bitter.
the fame.
Yeah, I don't think he can adjust for the fame unless his dad is in his corner, you know, keeping him, grounded. Like, don't forget where you come from.
Yes.
He gonna get lost. He would get lost in the sauce with all this fame if he does make it in this music thing.
So I'm going to be like the appetizer sampler. I'm just gonna nitpick off of everybody, but I'm gonna start actually with rock because I think what ends up happening because you're talking about the fall of 2019 going into let's say January 1, because I know they always like to put dates and stuff. January 1, 2021. So let's say just those 18 months. I think what we'll have is in the case of the inner dynamics with the dad. Because remember at the end of episode 1, season 1, the dad had talked about how they was going to open new restaurants.
Mhm.
And now with COVID is going to come in here, and that was supposed to open in a couple of months. So now his restaurants would have been opening right where COVID hit, which means now there's going to be a financial strain on it. So now he has to find other ways. And I know LA was one of the first spots. I was reading how they started taking all their kitchens and making them takeout. I could see
Hmm.
where the kitchen area, where they had a lot of the interactions. If you notice, when most of the family dynamic that happened in the house was in the kitchen, I think that becomes even more imperative season 2 because now, because of COVID, everybody's at the house. They're going to, which means they're going to be all on top of each other. But the kitchen Wood, I think, is going to end up making that the business where he's sending out food or having food getting picked up by DoorDash or whatever from the house, and the house is going to be a center part. But I think it still is not going to be enough to either pay the bills or hold on to the mortgage. And to Rock's point, where he talked about Justin becoming a successful music producer, I think he messes around him and the other guy he was with. That character art that could be another character. We'll see how. If does he get screwed? Because think about it, nobody gets in the music industry almost clean without getting screwed in some shape, form, or fashion. But let's
Yeah.
say Justin ends up being the TikTok hit because that's when the whole TikTok music to me I think really exploded because people was at the house, they had nothing to do. We're gonna do these challenges. We're gonna do these little dances, the TikTok dances, and Justin ends up creating a loop or music or something that ends up becoming the TikTok hit to the point where he makes so much money. Dad needs he could pay the money to dad. And you see what I'm saying? Now you're dealing with that inner dynamic of you know father and son, and it's like, well, I got enough money. Like going back to the a-hole that Rock talked about, I got enough money, I could pay it. Yeah, that may not go over well. It's one thing that dad and mama try to scrape money together to try to make it work, but now enough to where the son is making enough money to the way he could buy the thing outright, or buy out one of the franchises, just to make sure they become solvent.
Mhm.
I think that would be an art I could see where, in the case of Keisha, as someone who worked in collegiate athletics, Keisha was signed to a track scholarship, which means that indoor track does not start till the winter, and outdoor track doesn't start till the spring. So in 2019-2020 season, outdoor track never even got off the ground, and indoor track stopped in March. So they had barely finished and the conference championships for, like, in the case of Howard, which was a MEAC school, was the last week of February.
Hmm.
So they can have an inner dynamic because the thing is, we've seen Justin go through challenges athletically. We never saw that with Keisha, short of the fact that granddad showed up and she was running the hills. So she didn't have like a quad injury or something like that. But I can see where maybe somebody on the team, a roommate, or somebody, or even her herself, get sick, and then, but nobody knows it's really COVID yet because March 11th hadn't happened. So, which means that they would have gotten through indoor season, but outdoor season was a wrap. Matter of fact, not only did they not run outdoor season in 2020, they did not even run outdoor season in 2021, indoor or outdoor season. So, really, chronologically, they didn't get to run again until 2022. So, what is Keisha's mind state even waiting to get? Because we didn't know when folks was going to run again, when for certain sports, when they was going to play again. How does football get to play and the rest of us don't? So you have those inner dynamic with athletics. I also would like to bring up the fact that with um, I almost lost my train of thought with mom, because mom was pushing so hard for Justin to do the Northwestern thing, and how Justin had said mom was going to give me 6 months, like 6 to 9 months or whatever, and then if it didn't work, then he agreed to go enroll in Northwestern, which would have been fall 2019. Well, now mama having this whole thing of my baby having this prestige because of COVID, all of that falls apart. Now Justin could get a degree from Northwestern, but he don't even have to leave the house. When in his mom's eyes, that still be okay because the school itself is trying to stay afloat. All these schools, all of a sudden, they used to thumb their noses at a University of Phoenix or ITT or Strayer or any of these other online schools and say, they're not real schools with real degrees. Now they themselves haven't become that in order
Oh
to,
boy.
yes, Marcus, I knew
As
that was going
a
to.
as a former Strayer employee, the hate was real.
Yes. And
Hmm.
so now E2 Brutus. So
Yeah,
now for
yeah.
Mama, it's like, can she deal with the fact that, because again, that COVID is such a beast, it's going to be developed. It's going to be above your control. Like, you may try, the schools try to do everything to keep their doors open, and then they realize, look, our students got to go home and they got to sit there and learn. Now, would that end up making? I think the boy, I think the grandpa dies. I think he dies.
I think
Truly do.
so too.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I
so too.
truly think he's not. But you need to have a balance on something. I think the little boy gets sick to the point. This is where the Marvin Winans, the third character, could take an arc. I think to the point where he gets sick and he might die.
So you
And
saying
then
the little boy killed Marvin?
Now he was saying that Justin's brother Jaden might get sick and he might be on the verge of dying.
not because of
Oh,
the grandfather infecting them or whatever. It's just the thing is because think about it. Even with COVID, how it hit different families, it didn't all hit them equally and all hit them the same. you know, and it's just that who knows because we'll see. But I think with something with the brother, because I would like to see that, and so that's why I think what I'm looking into, because we ain't even gotten to the George Floyd thing and how that's going. And Keisha strikes me as she's a little bit more militant, so I can see what she's like. Look, we need to go out here and do something, but folks are still, marching. And I think this brings the dad off the road because you put dad in the house with with mom and Keisha again. Oh Lord, that's gonna be hilarity because
Yeah,
dad is not gonna be able to drive or go trucking.
somebody gonna get on somebody's nerves.
Yeah, all them people up there, and their spot is a lot more smaller than Justin's house, where they seem like they got enough room in theory to spread out. But yeah, Keisha's mama. Oh no, all them babies up in the house. Yeah, that's not gonna work.
and you could tell by Justin's character, even in the first episode when he brought Keisha's that bag, whatever.
Yeah.
Keisha was like, "Oh, so I'm doing your favor." Was like, "No, I got you." Like the way he just like it was like an instinct for him, be like, "No, I'm doing this for you." Like, and I don't know if that's just him. Like, I pick up on little things like that. Like, he's quick to,
Kirsten, yeah.
yeah, and it's just some traits that I don't know if he's gonna get out, if he's gonna grow out of it. Because again, I mean, like
Yeah.
he
Yeah. Yeah.
he's like one of those like people. He if it's not done a certain way, it's gonna bother him, and he's gonna try to autocorrect, if that makes sense.
Mm.
Yeah.
And instead of just letting things be and letting something breathe, especially
Yeah, because to piggyback off on that, when she came in the game to see him, and he was like, "You become more questions than answers."
Yes.
Mhm.
And that's him. He likes stuff plain and straightforward.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Rock. Last question. Ladies and gentlemen, again, I want to reset the room just real quick. You're listening to Paul's Paradox Podcast, and we try to do this at least once a month, or at least going forward, we'll try to do it at least once a month, where things that I find inquisitive, just interesting, and I hope to bring you and introduce you to a myriad of people that I know and love and work with and work for and played with, played against, played for, and so we're talking about Forever, and we're going on the season recap, season one, and we're wrapping up. So, Rock, this would be now your potpourri. You get like a 2 minute, 3 minute potpourri, maybe something we hadn't covered, or something you want to dig in on, or something that you may want to see, anything that we haven't touched on the conversation that you would like to see going forward, or
Man,
just overall of anything that we talked about today.
uh, this is wow. To be the first to do this, it's gonna be kind of. I don't know. I think we touched on everything. I felt like like I said, I'm really interested on how they tackle these issues, especially the way they went chronologically. Um, especially like you said, George Floyd. When I don't know when did the NIL deal start coming in? What you know?
So
What year?
So the NIL deals was in litigation this entire period. It started back in 2015, 2014, 2015. And the litigation went all the way through the end of 2022. So really the 2023 season was the first season that athletes was able to get
Oh,
NIL deals.
so
So
they
that would be more of a season three thing,
three, yeah,
maybe, but as of right now. But yeah, but season two, it would unless they decide to stretch it all the way past, all the way through COVID when stuff opened back up, who knows?
yeah. So I was gonna say, like I said, I'm a fan of the show. The show definitely opened my eyes to, I'm not gonna say I'm gonna start watching more romantic shows, um, but this one definitely gave it put a good taste in my mouth as far as like just Regina King she's been awesome. I've been a fan of her ever since the Boondocks, doing playing Riley and and Huey, and I just felt like she does great work.
Oh, that's where you first met Regina King, my
You
friend.
got to remember, he's 96. He was born in 96.
Ah,
He
yeah,
ain't
yeah,
going
so,
back to 227 like us old farts. He ain't
yeah,
doing
yeah,
that.
yeah,
He
yeah,
ain't
yeah,
doing
yeah.
that. He
We
ain't doing
met her
that. Give him a break.
on a little show in the '80s when she was a child actress called 227.
Oh,
Yeah.
227? No, I never heard of
Yeah.
that.
I'll
Sorry.
show you. I'll show you one of the episodes with her, Jack A. Harris, and Hal. What was Hal's? Hal Winters. How was Hal's last name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can. But yeah, but Melba Moore, all of them. Yeah,
No, that
not
was
Melba
Marla
Moore.
Gibbs.
Marlon Gibbs.
Marla Gibbs. I'm sorry, not Melba Moore. Marla Gibbs.
Yeah,
And what was
yeah,
the
yeah.
name of the neighbor? The one that was the older lady.
Pearl.
Pearl,
Pearl.
Yeah, but what was her real name? I don't.
Helen Martin.
Helen Mark. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll show him one of those. And then the boy that was the neighbor, supposedly the I don't know if you want to call it love. It was love interest for the 1980s. I know that.
Calvin.
Calvin. Yeah, Calvin got a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
sorry, man. I had to be an old fart for a minute. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
you good. So I guess to end it off at this, I'm glad that this shows sort of a perspective of how young love is in a way right now in this generation. I think she did a good job doing a story, like telling the story on how, you know, well, because I know relationships is always complicated, but I think, in my opinion, especially when it comes to teenage love, I thought this was a good representation, especially with Black families. How the moms, it's definitely beats the stereotypical TV shows that you see from other producers, Tyler Perry, and
I knew it.
other other mediums, and because at the end of the day, I like to see Black wealth. I love to see the perspective of you know um a dad that's there. I love to see the quirky kid perspective.
Yes.
I love to see you know um anyway, it's been done before with That's So Raven, the white counterpart being you know supporting actors towards the Black girl. Now you don't usually see that.
Jennifer
uh
Oi. Shout out to Jennifer Oi with the Parkers. But
yeah.
Yeah, Jennifer. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's glad to see those type of stories being told, because we you always see us in the limelight of a hardship. you know. And yes, there were a little bit of hardship in this show, but it wasn't like the stereotypical of us getting put out the house, or rent not being due, and this
temporary layoff.
Good time.
I don't know.
Easy credit rip off.
It was a
Good
it was
time.
a breath of fresh air to see a good representation of what an average middle class, even though I kind of question if the Justin family is low key middle class, because he had a pretty nice house.
In California for that.
Man, I was so jealous of that pool.
He
I
got a
don't even,
pool.
I can't even swim, and I was like, that looks amazing.
Even Keisha's situation, I mean, I will say she's middle class more than Justin, obviously. But even they didn't make her look bad in the limelight as being stereotypical. The mom was working. The mom was, it was. I think that was a good initial reaction when she found out that her daughter was hiding the secret from her. But she eventually came to, in fruition and woke up like, okay. But and going back to Mrs. Seaberry, going back to when you were saying that the mom should have pressed charges. I agree with you when you said that, until when Keisha said she's the one that sent that video out, which I'm like, dang, if she didn't do that, then she kind of played a part in, even though it doesn't make it right that he shared it with everybody else, but she kind of started the entire.
She lit the match.
Yeah. So if she was going to report it, she would be possibly
She would have been held liable as well.
held liable. So,
Yes.
And I thought that was a good twist, because I ain't gonna lie. I mean, that definitely plays a huge part of how this whole thing could have turned out if she didn't send that video. But yeah, I just like the perspective of us Black people telling stories like this. This is something that we need to do more of, in my opinion, because
Yes.
I'm tired of seeing us in the struggle.
Man, I'm so over Black trauma.
Yeah.
I'm over slave films too. I've been watching slavery stuff 40 years. Cause once again, let me tell you about my mama. And God bless Lillian McGee.
Yes,
I
because
love her to death.
Miss McGee, I take no responsibility for wherever
Oh
Marcus is
no,
going.
I done told her about herself. Cause every holiday she break out that dusty VHS copy of Roots, and
Oh
I had to
no!
watch Roots
Oh
every
no!
holiday.
Oh no!
How do
I
you
ain't
watch
never
Roots
finished
so
Roots
long?
because that film rough, man. Slavery wasn't no joke. Like, like up until the point where Cooney can't take his foot chopped off. I'm like, all right, that's enough. I gotta go to the other room. Time for me to go play. Time for me to read some comics.
Okay, which is longer, the Jackson 5 movie or Roots?
Roots,
Roots.
man. Roots is about
Roots.
3-4 days, homie.
Yes.
Never mind. Oh,
And look, and look. Jackson 5 is more joy, because guess what? They started out poor, but by the end of that mug, they rolling. In the
mm,
80s, they live like kings.
Mm-hmm.
right.
They look like it. Let me also throw in because Rock actually uh, um, teased on it. That actually would have been another good point if you can't think of anything to say. What was that old snap moment for you during the season? And I think that what Rock said about the fact when Keisha finally admitted that I was the one that sit there like everybody like, oh snap, like yeah, that kind of thing. All right, we got to put back the torches and the pitchforks. Okay, well,
Which works.
I know.
you know, Charlottesville, shout out. But
Wow. Okay.
yeah.
I'm going
But Marcus did, yeah. But if there was like even an old snap moment for you, you're like, oh snap, like
Uh, a old snap moment. Um, I don't know about old snap moments, but like, well, man, probably Shannon. Shannon was way more forward than a lot of girls was it.
yes,
yeah.
Well, than the
Yes.
few
yes,
girls who gave me the time of day back then.
yes.
She like, look, we not really seeing each other, nigga. He like, we were folks. She like, yeah, potato, potato. She like, she like, I want to lose my V card. I want you to do
I want you to do it.
Yeah,
it. You know what I'm saying? Like, man,
yes,
I, I,
yes.
I ain't gonna front. I'd have been in trouble if it was girl like Shannon around.
I will say
I
this
think we
about Shannon.
all are.
She stuck. I gave her props because she stuck to a word. If she left a message, then we won't do it. I give her
She's
props
a
that she
G.
made that like that what you call it, that trade off. She was like, if your girlfriend, if Keisha left a message on your phone, we call it off, and she stuck to it. And the fact that she was willing to do that,
She stood on business, man. 10 toes. Ten
Business.
toes down.
That was gonna be my last. I wanted to make sure my last comment was to give Shannon. I don't know who is the actress. Please make sure we see it on camera when she gets some. Please, because it's like on just that alone, I give salute. I'm sorry. Call it.
I ain't gotta see it. I would like to hear her story about it though. I
Okay.
feel like
Fair
her
enough.
I ain't got.
Fair enough.
I feel like her
Fair enough.
her account of losing her virginity would be like the most interesting TED talk ever.
TED talk.
Yeah, because it's like she did like it was almost like that pivot for me was my old snap moment because I was not expecting like the whole thing. Okay, they've been vacationing, the family's been vacationing in the vineyards. First of all, I had to get past the fact that black folk in the vineyards. Okay, I know they are, but I just don't see them. I don't know any. And then just getting past the point, you got this girl who's really cute, and I think one of the mamas made an insinuation or whatever, and the aunties or whatever made the insinuation. And Justin is so heartbroken over the girl, you're like, she like I'm like, this is a pretty girl. Like, all right, well, whatever. But I understand there's some people that you've been around for so long, it's kind of like you in that family line, or even if the thought even crossed your mind, you just automatically reject it because you're like, ooh.
I mean,
Even though legally it would, and you wouldn't think the mamas wouldn't be happy because then it's like now we're gonna be mother-in-laws, oh my god.
Y'all, my phone about to die, so I'm gonna have to do this mad dash to the room where my charger is. Y'all pretend like y'all don't see me running the country mile, okay? Love y'all.
Okay. Yeah, so I'll put him on me until he come back. Yeah, so or he could have turned himself off, but I guess I digress. But but anyway, but yeah, that's why I said for Shannon, man, she was a G. That's why I said I just want to see her get reward. No good deed goes unpunished. No
That's why
good
I
deed,
said
no good deed goes unpunished.
that's why I said in the beginning, she was one of the characters I want to see in season 2. I think Justin's gonna wind up.
Yeah, he's gonna wind up with her.
Yeah, I think he'll wind up smashing. I
Yeah,
ain't gonna lie.
I agree.
Yeah.
You know what? This is what you really want to throw in the boomerang. Let's say Justin's friend end up
With
with her first.
Shane. Yeah.
And now Justin's feeling some kind of way. And then he gonna be like, wait a minute, you was supposed to be tripping on Keisha. Why you mad with what because think about it, at least Justin's gonna feel, and this is where you really want to talk about a
dilemma.
yes, a dilemma of where how sometimes with folks will be like how we feel like if it's because it's us, I would have did it. It made it okay, but because he did it, it wouldn't go off cool. Like I can see where the friend ends up smashing Shannon, and Shannon has a horrible experience or whatever, just because the friend just don't really care about her as a person per se, and just look at that's just another pelt on the wall. And so now Justin feels some kind of way, and just like, well, if you would have did the same thing, it's like, but yeah, come on, bro.
My thing is, but where do they stay at? Because they don't stay in the vineyard, right? Shannon don't stay in California.
Yeah, I don't know where if they even mention where they live.
Yeah, so so that'll be another interesting dynamic. How does she come back into the play unless they go on another vacation to vineyard? So I mean,
towards the end, maybe.
But I mean, dude, this is the digital age. They got each other's phone numbers if nothing else. If you got a phone number, you can call and text. You can send information to the other person now. So
that's
true. Or even just talk about sexting. Sexting may become a whole thing now.
Oh well, yeah, that
especially during the pandemic. Yeah, it was
I just need her to resurface. Like I want to see the woman she becomes. She is just. She has an interesting, refreshing, unique perspective. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck.
I ain't gonna lie, especially with
I have about 3 kids if it was girls like her. When I was that age, I probably had about 3 kids. Trio.
Church. It been church for us all. It would have been church for us all.
Nah, bro. She
nah, but
she had because she had plausible, solid arguments, man.
Yeah.
Because she was coming with logic.
Vineyard. It is Martha's Vineyard. I'm just saying, location is important.
Like you said, if you gonna do the do
the do,
that is a hell of a locale.
I know my mother. You may be watching. Yes, I did not engage, but I'm just saying. I'm being honest.
It's funny because she was talking about. Remember when they was in the parents were in that room or whatever,
the patio smoking weed,
weed, and she was talking about the best way to have sex was like cocaine or something.
I know cocaine in the vaginal region.
Yeah, cocaine.
She
was like interested in that low key. Like
I'm like, yeah, that was where I've been like, okay, pull back. You're doing too much now.
Like
I would have had to draw the line at the Peruvian snow, but
and and the fact that's another thing too. The fact that Justin actually in that scene, that was an important scene when Justin was starting to realize, oh snap, like our basketball dreams aren't real. Because the dude, what was the gay friend or whatever?
The gay
uncle. Man, Gunkle, gay uncle.
Yeah,
that man
was not going to the NBA.
That man was a dream killer. Yeah, I don't see like that's why I low key had beef with his character and Keisha's dad. I don't like dream killers, man. I
I mean,
get angry like that little Pixar movie. So man, the movie can
Sure.
go to hell because I saw that movie and I feel like the moral of that movie was, oh, by the way, f your dreams. And as a dreamer, no, you do not speak to me that way.
I
You go to the lowest depths of hell with with gasoline boxers on.
Oh my God. Oh Lord
now
Jesus.
I am happy that the show I look at for Forever to Fly.
Yes.
It took Insecure. It took Awkward Black Girl. It took the
Oh, of
Black
course, of
Lady
course.
Sketch Show. It took
Yeah.
all of this for us to get to this point
Yeah,
to
Yeah.
where
dude,
that
and
blackness is not a monolith.
Yeah.
let's throw in Mara Brocca-Kill's past works. You know what I'm saying? Love
Girlfriend.
is girlfriends, the game, and man, sir, as somebody who was black and nerdy and weird and outcast in the 80s and 90s, and I I was tribeless for a long time, man, like watching this show and seeing weird kids like just, and I say weird and just off the beaten path. I'm not trying to dog them cause cause you can ask my wife. I was getting excited about a Japanese kid show coming rider that's gonna be simulcast in the US for the first time today. I was down there doing a happy dance because it's getting a US simulcast. That's
Yes.
how weird I am. Like
Very
I
screaming.
love you, baby. I love you. But
Mm.
man, but like to see him and to see it being accepted, and yes, my God, like I have gone through so much personal turmoil because of monolithic beliefs. Like people see me, black nerdy guy, and say I reference like a rock song or something. It's like, oh, you not black, you just got a tan.
What?
Like European Americans, clear people, the transparent tribe has questioned my blackness because of stereotypes and beliefs. And yes, black people have questioned my blackness. My dearly departed cousin called me a black Republican. For the record, I do not vote Republican. But because I tried to speak clearly and use articulation, and I like different things.
yeah. You know what's
You-
funny? Black people, we have the most conservative ways about us. That is so funny. And but we granted, I don't consider myself a Republican or a Democrat. I'm more of a moderate person, but
Same, which means everybody gets on my nerves.
yeah.
Oh my God.
So
Spin.
it's just one of those things that we, especially in the African community, we look out for ourselves low key, and then we do our own thing. Usually, when it comes to helping other ethnic groups or even just in general, when you see somebody on the street, we don't. As long as if there's any benefit for us, we go take what what will help us. We usually don't usually. And this is weird. It's a catch-22 because Black people are most known to help others, but we don't get the same love back from other ethnicities, which is crazy. We're quick to forgive, you know, as a
Yes, yes. Case
Or
in
like
point. You remember when the woman went to the wrong apartment and murdered that man, and his relatives hugged her in the middle of the courtroom.
yeah, I remember that. I
I'm like, I'm
remember
like,
that.
I'm like, I'm like. I guess I'm a demon then, cause I ain't the one.
Yeah,
I'm a fisto, bro, cause I ain't the one.
that's a level of holiness you have not yet reached, Marcus.
Nah, bro. She,
That's
man,
that's a path.
yo. That man gonna be like Enoch in the Bible. He ain't even gonna die. He gonna go straight to heaven. He just gonna start walking upwards. You know what I'm saying? Like, but yeah, man, black folks be forgiving, man, and I be and, to your point, Rock. That
You
was
gonna be
real
on his depth,
profound.
man. You don't even go in his depth. You just gonna float up.
Yeah.
You just go.
And
Yo,
so,
but that's what
and
old boy did in the Bible, ain't he?
yeah, yes,
Like he didn't die.
yes.
It's like you so good. Come on to heaven. You know what I'm
So,
saying?
so it's like the one, and I'll say that because I know we don't want to end this being CNN, but or any other political on three whatever. But I will say I
We could be
like.
channel one.
Oh wow, channel one, or
I
I go
guess.
channel zero at this point. You know, yeah.
shout out,
So
shout out to Lisa Ling and Anderson Cooper.
yes, yes. Lisa Lincoln, Anderson Cooper, channel one. Oh God. Yes. I would say, like the little saying that you see, I wish, when you talk about other ethnic groups, I wish they loved us like they love our culture.
Oh, sir.
Yes.
I like the way Charlamagne and other people say it. They want our rhythm, but they don't want our blues.
Mm. That
Mm.
hit. That hit.
Cause that's it, dude. Like they co-opt our culture hand over fist. Hip hop. Cause let's be clear, hip hop is the biggest selling genre of music. It took us some decades, but we finally eclipsed country music. A large part of that is white children. White children consuming it. And then our hairstyle. Now we've been doing cornrows and this and that for the longest, and now they take that and do something. And now all the styles that the like.
You probably saying too much. Your voice getting modulated. they
Oh,
hear what you say.
Yeah, your voice again, modulated.
oh, I don't know how to fix that, but like
Stay away from the window.
I watched the anchors on ESPN now. They basically wearing door knocker earrings. Something in the 80s and 90s was considered hoochie-fied. Like everything we do is vilified and considered horrible until it's eventually co-opted, by
And profitable.
huh?
And profitable.
Yeah, there we go. Like so, yeah, man. They like I say, they love. It's like a performative love of blackness.
Mhm.
That's what I call it. It is a performative love of blackness.
Yeah.
But they ain't.
And
But they ain't really, down for us. Michael Jackson even taught us a long time ago. All I want to say is that they don't really care about us. Mike, man, MJ was spitting.
Man, I wanted to witness Gary Michael Jackson with his deep voice. We witnessed the what you call it, Michael.
Dude, I think Gary was still there because from what I've heard, Gary is a rough play.
yes, Gary is rougher.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting, speaking of music, to see the musical selections. If I had a hit in 2020 and 2021, best believe I'm hitting up the show. Hey, can y'all play my song?
Hey
I'm,
yo, hey
I'm
yo.
serious. I'm interested to see what songs come out.
To
Like,
that point, I gotta say, and I got to, cause like my wife, she kept humming the Snow Allegra version of "Do for Love,"
yes.
and I got mad. I'm like, girl, you done heard that song before. It ain't even that good. Man, I listened to that thing. And peace to Bobby Caldwell. I will forever love Bobby Caldwell's version.
Yeah.
But that gum and Snow Allegra sang that thing like the rent would do.
You talk about in the show when they did
Yeah.
the rendition? Yeah, that was a good version of it.
Man, she did that.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Was
Snow,
that
yeah.
acapella? Did she do it
No,
acapella?
no, no. It's music, but it's not like the music behind Caldwell's version.
Yeah, it was like
It was a little more slow and soothing
mhm.
and
Yeah.
yeah,
You
It was
like
more
that
do
like
arrangement.
intimate.
beautiful. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's behind everything. Yeah. Oh, well, I don't want to say because I don't want YouTube to be like, all right, we need music rights. Hey,
Nah, yeah,
we, we,
yeah.
we,
Don't
we
do it.
I
Don't
don't want
do
to
it.
get to the end of the episode and now we get flagged. So, but anyway, I'm going to say, what is the standard line? I do not own this music. We claiming fair use. but yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, again, you have been watching Hall's Paradox podcast, which is usually episodic where I come on and I have a guest panel or a guest or more, and we talk about different subject things that I may find interesting. And so we have been talking about forever, and we're going to go ahead and wrap this up and end because now we had hit a little over
Wait,
100.
we didn't get Miss Seaberry, Mrs. Seaberry's
Did we not? Oh, did we not? I mean,
It's okay.
no. Well, then we need to get you in then. Okay, but yes. Yes.
we didn't get Mark, we didn't get Mr. Seaberry.
Yes, we got his aha moment. We did get
Oh,
his.
guys,
I
okay.
think it was Miss Seaberry was the one. I think yeah.
All right.
So as a matter of fact, we're gonna save the best for last, and we're gonna let Miss Seaberry, give us her aha, old snap moment, or her final thoughts on everything.
Okay, well, I would have to say my oh snap moment was when they was trying to sit him down and they told him about the sex tape. And that's when he shut his mama up. And I was like, yes, finally, Justin got some balls. But you can't really tell a parent,
Yeah.
especially a black parent, that today, like in my generation, because like I grew up with boomers. If you tell a parent, if do something like that, you not through a wall, you got a busted lip. But that was my aha mom. Like, yeah, mom, like, duh, I've been in on
Yes.
about this tape.
Yes. Because if you have boomer parents, don't get knocked out is a whole sentence in a complete thought.
Yes. Yes, I mean, what I mean by boomer parents, parents that was born in the 1940 era. Those
In
were the
1950s,
boomers in the
Yeah,
1950s,
40s, 50s.
40s to
40s
50s.
and the 50 eras. Like
Yeah.
both my parents, my dad, rest in peace, was born in 47. My mom was born in 48. They did not play that. And that's what's wrong. Me being a school teacher, that's what's wrong with this generation today. They think you're a joke, you're playing with them. No. When I tell you to do something, you do something. Like I told a little boy one time, you can't get no water. He disobeyed me and when it got anyway, and then the teacher said, you just heard Miss Seaberry said no. Get your tail in line. It's just this generation is something else that we got now because both me and Marcus were both in education. And like that was my aha moment because I'm like, yes, he is putting her in her place, but in a nice, respected way because he already knew about the sex tape. So, well, I would like to see more in season two. I like the mom to be more relaxed, more calmer, because she realized now Justin's not a little boy. He is basically a young adult, almost like a young legal adult who can basically now kind of take care of himself. But with his disability, him being with ADHD, it's gonna be challenging. It's gonna be hard for him. That's what I would like to see. I would like to see for Keisha to be less of I'm not gonna curse on the show, but less of a female doll, but more compassionate in a way. I would
Thank
like to
you.
see her be a little more compassionate in season three. And I would like for some new characters to, emerge. And then one thing I would like for season three,
Two,
I
you
wish,
mean?
huh?
Two, you mean, right?
Dude, yeah, we
Yeah,
have a
sorry, two in
Oh, so
season
she's seen the
two.
season. We don't know.
Okay, I'm sorry. In season two, I would like to see more young African American female directors. For example, in Queen Sugar, Ava DuVernay gave other women a chance to direct episodes, and it was a seven
Yo,
season. And
well,
I
now to
thought,
be fair, if you look at them credits, it started with Regina King. It was quite a few women directors. I'm assuming a lot of them were POCs. But it's probably gang more, you know what I'm saying, countless more out there. So yeah,
Yeah, that's what I would like to see. More women of color direct some episodes, people we have never heard of before. Cause like I am so super excited that they're bringing back the reboot of A Different World, and I can't wait to see how this is gonna be.
I hope they get it right
Yeah, I do hope they get it right.
because I mean I remember they did a reboot for the Fresh Prince of a serious drama, and I didn't think that wasn't that bad.
Mm-mm. Yeah, cause it's on Peacock now. They in their fourth and final season, so yeah.
Yeah, so, I
Yeah,
mean,
So
Marcus,
with
I'm
this
going. Yeah, Marcus,
with
I'm
this,
going to
they
go.
should get it right because you got Debbie Allen involved with it. She was involved with the series back in the day. She gonna make sure they get it right.
Marcus, I'll let you reset your audio real quick because it's like we was hearing reverb and everybody else, and you can hear your wife through, and it was bleeding through. So I'll give you a second or whatever. Yeah, yeah. So let's see if he's back. Okay, I'll give him a second. But yeah, yeah. So definitely good points. I'm glad you mentioned about the new characters. I love the one where you talk about the guy who played Ghost's son. You know, being
oh, so he's
that
actually going to be on there?
I
no.
don't know.
She was just saying.
They
She
was
was just
just talking in the article like it would be super dope if he
Uh,
would be in it and be like Keisha love interest. That would be so dope.
let me
Well,
ask
I
you
don't
this.
know who's gonna be the new
universe
character.
collides.
Let me ask you this. Is the guy who played uh um um
Flip is St. Patrick. It's actually St.
no
Patrick is his name.
no. What's the name of the boy who played I guess he's on Raising Canaan?
Oh, you
Not
talking about Michael? I know you
not
talking about
Raising
dude that
Canaan.
played 50 Cent's character.
No, not 50 Cent's character. No, I'm sorry, wrong show. The one that was playing, they had the song. Is it? Oh, Rotimi. Rotimi.
Oh, Rotimi?
Is Rotimi too old to
Yeah,
be?
Rotimi's a little too old.
Yeah, yeah, he's too old. He's too
Okay,
Yeah,
old.
Rotimi. So
he's probably busy on being on the shot. The shot,
Yeah.
right? Shy. I still
we save all that for off camera.
okay.
Again, we keeping track on stuff. But I was just trying to see as a character, was he too old? You know, to
Nah,
be
Yeah,
the
man,
love.
but you too old, dude.
Okay, so all right then.
but yeah, that would be dope. Even though I know that wouldn't happen, have St. Patrick continue this realm and forever. Oh my god, Keisha work will be all messed up. Keisha won't.
You can make an argument that it all lives in the same universe, but
Yeah.
yeah, but that
Nah,
one.
nah, that's a whole different show at this point. If
One
St.
other thing,
Patrick's involved,
I think the other thing I would like to see, since Keisha's mama got the job at USC, because USC is going to be affected as well with COVID, because as staff, we had to do a lot of either remote work or for those that was doing, I don't know what her mom was doing, but if she was doing any of the auxiliaries, which is, working Aramark, working in the food kitchen, doing cleaning up the dorms and stuff in the buildings, there was very little work for them to do because the school was on shutdown. So that was, yeah, so that was really problematic for a lot of us as university staff. And with her just getting started, and they was cutting back positions and things of that nature, and they would take whoever was the low man on the totem pole. That was the
Yep,
first ones to get axed.
because
You
I
know,
worked from March 2020 to October 2020.
yeah,
It was
and
like a process. They were like, "All right, y'all. So the numbers are down in in attendance. First, we're gonna do voluntary severance." Yes, we took that. Well, didn't enough people do voluntary severance. Now comes involuntary severance, and that's what
right,
they got me.
yeah. So
I do want to add one more thing I did, which
okay,
I did that didn't loot, that didn't wasn't lost upon me, was the fact that the brothers stuck together instead of beating each other up. As far as why is your daughter, with my son, and she has this. I like the fact that they, you know,
Yeah, they stuck together.
stuck together with that because I don't know how that would have really reacted. I don't know how the audience would have reacted if the mom went against the other mom. Like,
yeah, because it could have went off the rails, especially when the mom had the phone call, and then
yeah,
she sit up there, with the whole therapy thing, like, look, hey, help me, and just having that ice tension
mhm.
moment, and it's like, because whew, that's my baby. Don't come for my baby. Because Keisha's mom could have been all just dismissive because like, look, you sitting up there in your high horse, you got a husband, beautiful car, da da da. I'm just trying to struggle to put the lights on, and
Right.
just yeah. So
So
that could have,
that was a really great moment to see,
yeah,
and that's why I really like that. I think that was the moment when I really started to like the mom, you know. But it was many times that the mom was just kind of like, "Yo, you gotta chill." First,
yeah,
first you forcing the kids to, you need to tell your mom about the sex tape, or I will. Like, I'm like, yo, I get
Stay in your lane. That's one
right,
thing I did not like about Justin mom. Dawn, that was her name. Dawn was doing too much. Dawn should have stayed in her lane. It didn't concern her. So why
yeah.
would why would you do something like that?
yes,
I think
Stay
her
in your
heart was in
lane.
the right place, but it was the delivery.
right. Because I mean, it just reminded me of a scene from The Patriot. I'm not a child. You're my child. Like really, like what are we doing? It's like no, no. Yes, but
She was doing too much.
yeah. All right,
She was
ladies and
doing too
gentlemen,
much.
we're gonna wrap this up because we're about to hit the 2 hour mark. But I would like for the panel to stay on. We're gonna do this thing we call the sidebar. Decompress off of everything we just discussed, and then uh, Rocket can bring up his grievances against me and my viewing habits that we've had this weekend so far. So, but ladies and gentlemen, again, I'd like to thank y'all so much for watching. Follow us on Azrael Media on Instagram, and you can follow us here on the channel. And until next time, this is Paul's Paradox Podcast, and to everybody that's here on the panel, I'd like to say thank you and salute, and we'll see you guys next time.